In a world where wealth is measured in billions, there exists a secret realm where money has no meaning and gold is as common as concrete. Behind palace walls guarded by men with platinum-plated weapons, 5 men control fortunes so vast that entire nations bend to their will. They drink from crystal infused with diamond dust, sleep on sheets woven with 24-karat gold thread, and make decisions that alter the fate of millions with a mere whisper. These are not merely wealthy individuals. These are the Arab kings whose personal treasuries eclipse the GDPs of entire continents. What you're about to witness is not fiction. It's the reality of the 5 richest Arab kings alive today. Men who live in a realm where trillion-dollar fortunes fuel lifestyles so extravagant that even their servants live better than most millionaires. And the most shocking part? The secrets they've kept hidden from the world, until now. Our journey begins in Saudi Arabia, where King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud sits atop a royal fortune estimated at 1.4 trillion, 16 times greater than Britain's royal family median. But King Salman isn't merely wealthy, he's the patriarch of a dynasty that treats money as disposable as tissue paper. In the sweltering heat of the Arabian desert, his family is building Neom, a $1.5 trillion futuristic city straight from science fiction Bloomberg. Picture Manhattan-sized structures of mirrored glass stretching 170 kilometers across barren landscape, powered by flying taxis and robot servants. Yet while this mega project faces public challenges, what journalists don't report is the already completed 16-building palace complex at its heart. King Salman's desert escape. Cross the Arabian Sea to Brunei, and you'll find Sultan Hassan al-Bolkiah living in Istana Nurul Iman, the world's largest residential palace with 1,788 rooms and 257 bathrooms. The Sultan doesn't just live in luxury, he surrounds himself with it. His bathroom faucets aren't just gold-plated, they're carved from solid 24-karat gold blocks. His furniture? Custom-crafted with gold filigree and precious gems that would make museum curators weep. But palaces are merely the beginning. As you're about to discover, these kings have created personal universes where impossible doesn't exist, and too expensive is a phrase they've never encountered. Yet beneath the gilded surfaces and diamond-dusted reality of these kings lies a world of rivalries, dark secrets, and power plays that would make Machiavelli himself shudder. The UAE's Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan presides over a 56-member royal family worth an estimated $300 billion. Their presidential palace, Qasr Al Watan in Abu Dhabi, spans the equivalent of 3 Pentagon buildings and cost over $475 million GQ. But what truly separates the Sheikh from his royal peers is his shadow navy, a fleet of super yachts so massive they require their own personal harbors. His flagship vessel, the Rabdan, valued at $60 million, is merely an afterthought in his collection Super Yacht Fan. What Western media doesn't know is that when foreign dignitaries visit, they're often invited to what staff call the floating palace, a mega yacht so exclusive that even billionaires are denied entry. But Sheikh Mohammed faces a worthy rival in Qatar's Emir Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani. At just 43 years old, he controls Qatar's $335 billion sovereign wealth fund while maintaining a personal fortune exceeding $2 billion. His residence, the billion-dollar Doha Royal Palace, is a golden architectural masterpiece housing 15 separate palaces within its walls. The crown jewel of his collection, however, is the 123-meter super yacht Al Lusail, valued at $500 million super yacht Fan. Built by legendary shipyard Lursen, this floating palace can accommodate 36 guests in absolute luxury launches. The Sultan of Brunei, meanwhile, has transformed wealth into a personal religion. With a fortune of $30 billion, he maintains a car collection so vast, 7,000 vehicles worth over $5 billion, that many vehicles are never driven. His 600 Rolls-Royces include custom models with 24-karat gold-plated exteriors and diamond-encrusted hood ornaments. For his daughter's wedding, he commissioned a solid gold Rolls-Royce, a vehicle so valuable it can never be driven on public roads. Palace insiders whisper that the Sultan sometimes wakes at night and wanders through his car collection alone, running his fingers over vehicles worth more than most people will earn in 10 lifetimes. Yet perhaps the most intriguing of all the Arab kings is Morocco's Mohammed VI. With a personal fortune of $2.1 billion, he appears modest compared to his Gulf counterparts. But appearances deceive. King Mohammed maintains a shadowy existence that frustrates even veteran royal watchers. He spends more time in his French chateau than in Morocco itself, sometimes departing his kingdom for months at a time El Pais. His personal Boeing 737 BBJ private jet, with registration CN-MVI, stands perpetually ready for departure, super yacht fan. What troubles his subjects isn't his wealth, but his absence. While Moroccans struggle with poverty, their king lives a life of luxury in France, but these royal fortunes come with a price. Behind the gleaming facades lie whispers of power struggles that would make Game of Thrones seem tame. The Saudi royal family, despite its united public front, harbors internal rivalries that occasionally erupt into public view, such as the 2020 detention of several princes accused of plotting against King Salman Al Jazeera. What these kings fear more than anything isn't economic collapse or political revolution. It's the one thing their trillions cannot buy: legacy. As they build ever grander monuments to their wealth, the question haunting their gold-lined bedrooms remains. Will history remember them as visionaries who transformed their nations, or merely as men who possessed more money than anyone could spend in 1,000 lifetimes? As our journey through these kingdoms of unimaginable wealth comes to an end, we're left with a paradox as golden as the palaces themselves. The Sultan of Brunei, despite his thousands of cars and palace of gold, faces the twilight of his reign with an uncertain succession. His massive wealth, derived from diminishing oil reserves, may not sustain his heirs' appetites for luxury. Saudi Arabia's King Salman and his ambitious crown, Prince Mohammed bin Salman, stand at a crossroads of history. Their Enium project represents either the dawn of a post-oil Saudi future or the world's most expensive mirage in the desert Bloomberg. Their trillion-dollar family fortune could either transform the kingdom or become a cautionary tale of excess. Qatar's Emir Sheikh Tamim, the youngest of our 5 kings at 43, perhaps holds the strongest position. His nation's hosting of the 2022 World Cup thrust this tiny kingdom onto the global stage, while his strategic investments through Qatar's Sovereign Wealth Fund have quietly made his nation a silent partner in everything, from luxury hotels to technology startups around the world. The UAE's royal family continues their relentless expansion, with Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed transforming Abu Dhabi into a global power center through strategic petroleum reserves and one of the world's largest sovereign wealth funds, with reported assets of $830 billion. And what of Morocco's absent king? Mohammed VI remains an enigma, a monarch who modernized his nation while seemingly preferring the comforts of Europe to the kingdom he rules. His legacy hangs in the balance of history's judgment. What unites these 5 men, beyond their astronomical wealth, is something surprisingly human: the desire to be remembered. Their palaces of gold, fleets of super yachts, and private jets with gold-plated toilet seats aren't merely displays of wealth. They're attempts at immortality. For in their world of unlimited resources and unimaginable luxury, these Arab kings face the same question that haunts every human, from peasant to emperor. When all is said and done, what remains? In their case, the answer will be written not in gold or diamonds, but in the impact their trillions had on the millions who lived under their rule. And that story is still being written, one gold brick at a time.